Yeah.
Okay, so the meeting.
I'm the host.
We adjourn to our regular meeting. Please first have an approval of the minutes. Have you all had a chance to look at the minutes?
Yes.
Are there any comments or corrections? Any corrections or additions? Hearing none, motion to approve. Motion to approve. Second.
Second.
And second by Diane. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, the task to be given to the architectural firm.
Yes, so we have selected 3 architecture firms to proceed and move on to the finalist round, which will involve a presentation 2 weeks from now, a design presentation. Those 3 firms are, and I want to make sure I get them right, are SLAM, Perkins and Will, or sorry, it's Perkins Eastman. It used to be Perkins Will. Perkins Eastman and Antonozzi. And so we have determined that, I'm going to pass this out, we're going to give them a conceptual design problem to resolve. And
Do you have an extra copy?
I do, extra.
I'll pass it back.
By the way, this is technically called a charrette.
Yes. Yeah, so we're going to give them this problem to come back to us on May 9th. I think we decided we're going to do a similar format in the evening. Give them each probably a little bit more time, hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half each one. Or is there, do we stick to an hour, we think? Stick to an hour?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe 7 to 9, a little bit later, better generally for people on May 9th.
We got 3 firms.
Yeah.
We've got to
3
do
firms,
6.
sorry. Yeah, 6 to 9 again on the May 9th. So I will work on an email to both the firms who we're no longer working with on this and the 3 firms that we'd like to continue, and kind of lay out those terms and send them, as long as the group approves this conceptual design challenge, we'll go ahead with that. And then I guess we need to agree on a fee to provide each of the architects as well. We talked in private session about perhaps including a sustainability component, or should we maybe leave it to more site design and
I think
ed specs?
the big question we have is the site and that stuff.
Yeah,
We're not asking them to do it all.
right, the whole project. Okay, so we're going to leave it, to these 3 site options and a closer look at the ed specs and for recommendations. Yeah, and the other thing I wanted to raise is it could be valuable to see a building by each of these architects during this 2-week period, and I could try and organize that and then come back to the group with some dates. It's a lot going on, it's a lot of time from all of us, but I guess I could connect with each of the architects with Karen Dunn's help and try and organize a tour, and even if just a few of us go collectively, I think if we all see one building by each of them, I think that would be valuable towards understanding their work 2 weeks from now. And I think that's everything. Just beyond that, then we have 2 weeks to award the architects with their agreement by May 23rd after that May 9th presentation.
Have we agreed upon a fee for this charrette?
10?
10?
10,000 each architect.
10,000 each? Okay.
We're only going to spend 5 on this other little project that we approved last meeting, so we picked up 10.
The grant?
Our budget, yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
That's everything. Yeah,
Great
that's
job, by the way.
Yeah.
Great job.
Awesome.
Thank
Do
you,
we hear a
Jane.
motion to proceed with the 3 firms and the fee of $10,000 each?
Okay, would you like to make that motion?
Yes, I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
And including the fee. Thank you.
Including fee and the design.
Fee of $10,000. Yep.
And the charrette. Okay, Rusty, where do we stand on our construction manager?
The RFP's been out for a little over a week. We're getting a lot of inquiries and questions. I think we're going to get a lot more submissions than I had anticipated. It's a big project, but also there's not a lot of other work out there, I think, is really driving it. And one of the questions will come up because the next step, we're going to cut this down to 3 and ask them for an RFP. One of the questions that we will have, and I've actually discussed it with a couple of them who I've talked to, is because we're so far up in the air in terms of a staged or an unstaged, and the zoning regs and not, we really don't know what they're going to be bidding on an RFP. So to solve that problem, I'm just going to lay out, here's the schedule, here's your assumptions. It's not going to be staged, it's an 18-month project, and, you just lay the thing out and have them bid on that. And I'm going to separate pre-construction from construction. It's the only way we can do it, to compare apples to apples. And then we'll be able to go back once we figure out what this project will look like, even from a gross point of view, and have them adjusted.
Do we include our assumptions as to whether we're going to, for the construction manager, whether we're, and actually for the architects too, whether we're going to, in terms of time schedule, we're going to apply for state grant this July or not?
I think that we're targeting to apply.
Yeah.
We are targeting.
With a placeholder.
Okay.
And that's the feedback we're getting from the architects, that it seems to be feasible,
Yeah.
and based on the current method of applying, the way things have changed in the past year or so, and
Yeah.
They're enthusiastic up in Hartford about us doing that, so I think we, yeah.
The key is this type of project. I mean, the estimate is probably an added 6 months if we do a staged program instead of just stick it down where there's empty lots. So that's.
Would you have them kind of price 2 options? I mean, I'd hate to say, assume it's all on this baseball
Right.
field, and then it's not.
Maybe
And then
that's
you've
what
already
I
picked
had.
your firm,
Right.
and now they've got you over a barrel.
Right, no, maybe we can do that. But there's still a lot of details that are.
Yeah, I know, it's hard.
It's hard for them to really do. But we'll build in enough flexibility so that we can specifically go back after construction drawings and then go back again once the bids are determined.
When do you cut this down to 3 possibilities?
We're going to meet next week from Monday,
A week from Monday. Okay.
right?
Correct.
Yeah, so they're due here, anybody can pick them up. So they're due here in the selectman's office on the 2nd.
Okay.
And the 3rd, and the weekend will give people time to read it over. And then we're going to meet at 4 o'clock on Monday afternoon.
Mike will be with you?
Mike is going to be, Randy, me, and Diane.
Good.
We'll just shuffle through it.
Okay. What about the next item on the agenda, updates on proposal for assistance on state construction grant process?
We have 3 proposals, and one that was recommended by the grant office
Yeah.
has never responded to 3 or 4 inquiries, so we're blowing them off. It's crazy, isn't it? Of the 3, one was not a good proposal from a lot of perspectives, so we're down to 2.
Okay.
So we are going to see them, we're going to meet with each of them for half an hour or so early next week. They're both about the same price, it's about $5,000. They're both large firms, they know how to do this. We don't have to check references, we know who they are. And it's just a matter of a chemistry thing with Duke and I and this guy. And
Okay,
we'll have one chosen by the middle of next week.
great. Because that's already been authorized to do that. So
Yes.
we don't need to go back over that again. The next item is basically, and this is more of a reminder, to anything to update our Gantt chart, just keep feeding the information into, you've got the Gantt chart right now, Rusty.
Mhm.
Okay, so we just make sure that we throw things at Rusty to put in the Gantt chart.
Give me a quick email if anything changes on there or additions.
And then we'll circulate it around. Is there anything else to discuss this morning? Hearing none, our next meeting should be roughly, is it,
It's on the chart. On the chart.
Was it?
Oh,
Well, 2 weeks from now would be the 10th.
yeah, but when do we have the architects coming back?
The 9th.
The night before,
The night before?
if we had a meeting on the 10th.
Yeah, so I think that's exactly right.
Yeah.
We're coming back on the 9th, we'll meet on the 10th.
Plus, we would be having those cut down to 3 that week too, on the Monday, for the construction management.
Right. Okay, so that we should plan on is it May 10th? Our next meeting, okay.
and then otherwise, we may have a tour between now and then. or
Right.
a tour or 3.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. Motion to adjourn?
Um,
All right,
Second.
okay, we're all in favor? Thank you.
Aye.
Aye.
The meeting is adjourned.